I'm sorry it doesn't make you feel comfortable, but we're here, we're queer, and we're not going away.
I'm not waving.
But guess what? You don't get to tell me when I can stop speaking.
Well, I'm going to.
I'm an elected official. You can't do that. So, Mr. Walker, if you're not aware, and I think a lot of people in this room are not aware and have come here just because this is a gay issue, I am proudly the first openly elected lesbian in North Dakota. So that is why I'm not paying any heed to your crap.
So whether you're dealing with a country or a business or any type of relationship, a club that started, whatever the foundations are, that's going to set the tone and set the stage for basically the entire lifeline, the entire timeline of whatever that entity is. The United States was founded, made for white Judeo-Christian culture. That's what it was made for.
We the people, I'm the people, I live in Minot, I have a taxpayer, I am a person. I get to see myself represented on that flagpole.
Therefore, everything that we fought for, whether it be, to free slavery, Reconstruction, to end segregation, LGBTQ rights, equalizing the economy, whatever that may be, there's always been those foundational elements of white supremacy that we've had to fight against to equalize the playing field. That's why even in 2022, we're still dealing with small towns in the middle of this state, in the middle of that state, who, I don't want to see a flag. I don't want to see the gay flag flying. I don't want to see that. That's going to, turn all my children gay if they see that. If they see that flag, it's going to transform everything. That's why that's still there, because of the very foundations that this country was made on.
Every single person is entitled to see themselves represented. We are not some group of people who live in San Francisco or Seattle.
I can't support this type of action enough. Go, counter-protest these people. Expose them for the freaks they are. I really like this video. This comes from the Good Liars, who you might know from their pranks and trolling at different right-wing events. Recently, they've been to places like Trump rallies and the Freedom Convoy, and they do these completely deadpan stand-up interviews with people who are sadly detached from reality, from QAnon truthers to people who still think Trump won the election. It's sad, but also pretty funny. And here they're outside an abortion clinic where a group of elderly women have decided to waste their Saturday morning harassing people who go inside to receive reproductive care.
What's that? No. The traffic, the people ruining the protest.
And this type of protesting always bothers me. It's really weird to see people spend their free time get in the way of someone else trying to receive medical care. It's unlike any other form of protest, and it's only about abortion. And this is because it's so politically charged. You don't see these types of protests outside clinics where men are about to get a vasectomy. I'm telling you, I'm going in a couple weeks to get a vasectomy. I won't see any protesters there. Maybe a little TMI, but it's still, like, the point. That's not where you see these types of people. It's only at abortion clinics.
No. You guys do whatever you want.
Maybe these people look unsuspecting and they're not necessarily reflective of the entire anti-choice movement, but here in DC, there have been some weird happenings at clinics. Just last month in DC, 9 anti-choice activists were indicted on charges for breaking into a clinic and locking the doors. That's extremely weird, and again, you don't see that at other types of health clinics. Even more bizarre, one of the suspects had 115 fetuses in her house. What are you doing with those? Why do you have them? How did you get them? She said she got them from a delivery truck driver, and he denies her account, so it looks like they might have stolen them. Again, why? What are you possibly doing with those? It's all very creepy and weird, which is most of the anti-choice movement. It's steeped in this weird religious sentiment. People attack clinics, attack doctors. You probably all remember Dr. Tiller, a healthcare provider who was killed by anti-choice protesters after being public enemy number 1 on Fox News for months.
Investigators in Kansas are scouring the background of the suspect in the murder of one of America's most controversial abortion providers. Dr. George Tiller was shot and killed in church.
The way the right can whip people into a frenzy over this issue can't be overstated. So I really recoil at any sort of anti-choice protest outside of a clinic because it's a really sensitive issue for a lot of people. People aren't going there in good spirits. Sometimes it's very tough and emotionally draining for people getting reproductive care. And the last thing they need or deserve is to have some complete stranger standing in the way of them trying to get into the clinic, yelling at them, shoving signs in their faces, and calling them murderers. That's not what this is.
How hard is the right working to make sure they're seen as the victims of this moment of racial injustice? What's the real tragedy of this moment? We might lose a statue or two which are on the cusp of having slaves. Or the liberal mob will come for you and call you a racist.
All right, I just want to back up some of the points that Jon Stewart made and debunk a lot of the Republican talking points he's mentioning. One, that the left owns all the media. False. Billionaires own all the media. And while sometimes media conglomerate owners do say things like, let's acknowledge that gay people exist, they still love the status quo. And that's the definition of conservatism. The head of MSNBC wants the same old because she is trying to sell the same sunsetter retractable awning to grandpa that Rupert Murdoch's trying to sell him. Like, if Jeff Bezos was the champion of the left that they would have us believe he is, every Amazon warehouse would be unionized by now.
Because you guys paid for all of this.
Also, the left does not own all the media. As Jon Stewart says, back in the day and even to now, AM radio is run by those weirdos. The legacy of John Imus's.
That's a nappy-headed hose there, I'm going to tell you that.
And Rush Limbaugh's and all of that.
Nigga with an A on the end. Well, I think I can now. Isn't that the point? Al Sharpton goes out the front door. Yes, I spoke a little Negro dialect there. Feminism was established so as to allow unattractive women easier access to the mainstream of society. It's preposterous that Caucasians are blamed for slavery when they've done more to end it than any other race.
And the biggest Facebook posts every day are like 65-35 right-wing dominated. It's Dan Bongino, it's Ben Shapiro, mostly. Then it's us and like Occupy Democrats. No joke. Other than that, it's a very disconcerting syndicate of creepy weirdos on the right. They also lie and say that the left is trying to indoctrinate kids. False. Are you talking about like movies? Like, people make movies where the bad guy loses because it makes us feel better. And otherwise, it seems weird. If the conservative guy won in a movie, that would seem like propaganda. Like, Ted Cruz isn't gonna be the good guy when his constituents freeze and he hightails it to Cancun. Not the good guy. I'm sorry. They're not gonna make a movie where, like, the billionaire contaminates a whole town, gives them all cancer, and then gets the girl. Meanwhile, the right is explicitly trying to indoctrinate kids. That's what religion is. And then also, like, Turning Points USA. Like, what do you think Charlie Kirk's job is? Why do you think he was singled out among all the other